Hey folks, hope you're doing well out there. Just a minute ago you saw me with my tractor fired up, raising and lowering the loader, getting the Lane Shark, the LS4 into place. Now this tractor here, 2012 Kioti DK40se, real good sized tractor for my operation. I've got filled tires back there with rim guard, which is essentially beet juice, and we've got a winch on the back for a little bit of extra weight. On the front I hooked up the Lane Shark, as I was saying, and that's the LS4 model. Now this thing isn't an ordinary brush mower, and if you've seen previous videos with it in it, you probably know all the different configurations and positions you can put it in. This is one of the positions that I use it the most in, because it allows me to go along the edge of my trails and cut back all those overhanging branches. Now the business end of things is down here. As you can see, we have these hardened blades that swing around. We also have a 44-inch width, and this thing weighs right in at about 450 pounds, give or take. Now this thing is powered from a hydraulic motor. You can see the flow rate here. It's upside down, but that says 8.5 to 15 gallon per minute. My tractor powers that no problem. Hydraulic lines come down here and they make their way up to this connection point. Now there's 3 connection points here. These are all connecting to a third function kit, a continuous flow third function kit that I put in a little while back. Now the 2 lines that are powering the Lane Shark here today, one is a pressure line, one is a return line. This extra port here, this would be if I had a grapple and I wanted a grapple to run with that same third function kit instead of the Lane Shark. This would be the pressure side of things for the grapple. This would be the return for the grapple. This would be left open. Making our way back here, that third function kit that I talked about is being continuous. If we swing down there, you'll be able to see part of it there. This was part of the operation. This is what I installed. With that third function kit, we also got a new joystick loader handle, and so you can see it up here. We have 2 buttons. These would operate the grapple when it's hooked up, but today we're going to be utilizing this button here. I'm going to press it 3 times. That'll start the blades. Press it once to stop the blades. That'll allow the continuous flow of hydraulic fluid up to that motor and ultimately spin these blades. So we're going to fire things up. We're going to head down some trails. We'll cut off some branches, have them fall down, and if we need to, we could always swing this back down into the parallel position where it's parallel to the ground, and I could go by and do a bit more trimming. I don't know if that'll be necessary, but that's always an option. Now one thing you'll notice here, maybe you won't notice, the blades actually, as they spin, they protrude a little bit. And so if I can hold things up here, you see right there, what that allows is, that allows you to drive up to brush, and it allows them to be cut, as opposed to having to have the brush bent underneath this housing in order to be cut. So that's one of the advantages. Sort of this area is that area that blade will be exposed. Anyways, let's get down to work. Here we go. Well, normally about this time I'd reflect on the hard day's work, but the truth is I haven't really had anything hard about today. I've been hanging out inside the cab, going down my trails, cutting back brush, sipping on some sludge. I had the air conditioning going, the radio going. Life was good. Anyways, this thing worked well for me again today. As you can see, it cuts back all the branches very easily. You more or less just set it and forget it. So you just lift the loader up and down and it pretty much just cleans off all the branches on the trees. And depending how far into the bush you want to go, yeah, just more or less turn in and it takes care of the rest. Now I decided up in this area, I would also clean back a little bit of grass area. I typically use this to park implements. Sometimes I'll use it as a turnaround when there's no grass. But today, even with the rain earlier and the 2.5 foot or 3 foot grass, I thought I'd give it a go. And you can see what the results are. Worked very well. And so very reassured that I can continue mowing this area at this point. I don't have to wait for it to dry. I think it'll be just fine. Now another thing I like to do when the lane shark's in this position is I like to go down trails like this and I pretty much just mow into the bush a little bit. And that just cuts things back and it prevents them from getting big enough where their branches can start to grow in. And so that's what I'll continue doing here. But I'm going to cut everyone loose. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions about this lane shark, be sure you put it down below. And I'll also make sure to post the videos of this thing in action at the end of this video. I appreciate you watching. As I said, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like this video, and I'll see you next time.